So calling to order the Sugarland 4B Corporation meeting on Wednesday, March 16th, 2022 at 4 p.m. Yep. Citizens who desire to address the City Council Board and our commission with regard in matters in the agenda will be read or received at this time. Is there anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Close that. Right, next item. Consideration of an action on the minutes of January 19th, 2022 meeting. Thomas Harris. President.
Motion to approve. Second.
Before we do that, one of the things in there is it had an additional name as a Commissioner Perez, who's not one of our directors. So they're going to redo that and take that out.
Good catch. Good
Correct,
catch. Yeah.
yes, and we will provide it either before the next meeting or at the next meeting as well.
Okay, so does he need to make an amended motion to approve the minutes with that?
With the recommended change.
Recommended change. then.
Motion to approve to recommend removing Perez. That was not in the meeting.
Okay,
Second.
do I have a second? Okay, so Director Kamali and Director Atkinson is the second. So Director Watley?
Aye.
Director McCutcheon?
Aye.
Director Gasani?
Aye.
Director Atkinson?
Aye.
Director Kamali?
Aye.
And I also approve. The motion carries unanimously. Moving to the next item, under resolutions, consideration of an action on Sugarland 4B Corporation Resolution Number SL 4B R22-01, a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Sugarland 4B Corporation approving a request by the City of Sugarland to fund perimeter fencing in Ashford Lakes and Chimney Stone subdivisions under the council policy regarding participation with community-based organizations in capital improvement projects using 4B Corporation funds. Whitney Williams presenting.
Good afternoon, board members. Just as a refresher, the Joint CIP program is a grant program that supports community-based organizations by funding public improvement projects that enhance the community. And as you may remember, the fiscal year 2020 and 2021 for the Joint CIP program, the budgets were combined to fund all 11 eligible projects we received in the 2020 application process. To date, 9 of the projects have signed agreements with the city and 3 of the 9 projects are complete. These projects include landscaping enhancements, a park playground, and perimeter fence projects. The 2 remaining projects that have not begun work are Ashford Lakes and Chimney Stone fence projects. Staff has been in constant communication with each applicant, and each project is moving along well. As of today, Chimney Stone has completed all of their requirements and are in the process of signing their agreement. And Ashford Lakes is pending submission of their center point consent, which they have assured me they will have provide to us next. Okay. In February 2021, the board approved resolution number 2021-02-03, funding Ashford Lakes and Chimney Stone projects. In September 2021, the board approved resolution number 2021-09-11, extending the deadline to December 31st, 2021 for those projects. And today I bring you resolution number SL4B R22-014 for approval, which would keep all terms and conditions the same as the previous resolutions, but extends the deadline to April 30th, 2022. And also as a note, this resolution provides the general manager with sole discretion to grant one additional 3-month extension to July 31st, 2022 if necessary. And also we want to provide you with this extra information that we will also request the same general manager discretion to extend the resolutions for the next set of joint CIP resolutions. So that we want to keep coming to the board and requesting extensions. We recognize that some projects move along well and some projects need extra little hand holding. And so there's not like a one size fits all. So this will enable us to extend projects as we need to. And with that, staff recommends approval of resolution number SL4B R22-01. Any questions?
Director McCutcheon?
Who is the general manager?
Gentlemen.
Okay, okay. And I think that is a good plan because you never know with center, I mean, particularly with Centerpoint,
Yes.
who knows when that's gonna
Yes,
take place.
definitely.
Okay, I make a motion to approve.
I have,
Wait,
Oh, do you have a
Director
question?
Wadley, go
oh, I
ahead.
do want to second you, but I have a
Yeah,
question.
but-
Okay.
On the extensions, just out of curiosity, when they're extended, are we looking at increases for extending the dates because of the increase in pricing? That-
No, it's not the increase in pricing, it's just like the increase in the demand for supplies, that's the length of the projects. And, you know, some states are just, it's their first time going through the process and they just, you know. need a little
Yeah,
more help,
I was
so.
just curious if supply, because we're trying to build a barn. Okay, so just curious if supply and demand was increasing our supply, I mean, our costs because of the supplies. And
Yeah, we have not seen that.
Okay, good.
What, oh my gosh, the suppliers and the contracts that they applied with, the contractors are like holding them to that.
Good,
so they're not-
good,
they're
perfect.
not.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Second,
I also have a question.
Yeah.
What happens if it's not done by after the general manager extends it to July 31st, 2022? Does that mean you would have to come back here if we wanted another extension?
Yes,
Okay.
but I don't foresee that happening. Their Chimney is done. They're gonna be on the April city council meeting for approval, so I don't see that happening. And Ashford Lakes, they're moving along with their Chimney Stone consent. So I'm sorry, Centerpoint consent. So I don't think that that's gonna be a problem, but yeah, we would have to come back to you.
Okay, and before, Director Gasani, did you have any questions?
No, no questions, thanks.
Okay, all right. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes.
Okay, and a second?
yes, thank
Okay,
you.
so Director McCutcheon made the motion, Director Watley second. So all those in favor. So now Director Gasani, do you approve?
Yes, aye.
Director Kamali?
Yes, aye.
Director Atkins?
Aye.
Director Watley?
Aye.
Director McCutcheon?
Aye.
And I do as well. The motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Whitney. The next item is, we're going to workshop review of and discussion on the fiscal year 2021 annual report. Elizabeth Huff presenting.
Good afternoon. Uh-oh. Okay, so you have the annual report in front of you. So good afternoon. I'm going to be presenting the annual report to you for fiscal year 2021 that ended last September 30th. So it's going to be printed in front of you, as I mentioned, and so feel free to flip through, ask any questions as you see, if you see anything, and then I'm going to go through a few pages if you want to follow along. So under the financial statement, which can be found on page 23, the SL4B's fiscal year ended on September 30th, 2021, with an available fund balance of $4.9 million, which is about $1.4 million higher than the budgeted ending balance. Revenues were 101% of budget and came in at 91,000 higher than budgeted. Expenditures were at about 87.4% of budget and came in at 1.3 million lower than budgeted. For projects, you can go and find those on page 7 and 8. First, we had the Lovett Industrial announce a $15 million redevelopment of the former National Oil and Barco site at 500 Industrial Boulevard, which was made possible through an agreement that was approved by the Sugarland Development Corporation with Sage Dulles, which is an affiliate of Lovett Industrial and Boise Cascade. The Class A industrial development totals more than 320,000 square feet. And not only did the project create new industrial product in the Sugarland market, but it also allowed Boise Cascade to expand its product line, which they were looking at how do they do that in their existing facility, and were really landlocked and had some struggle being able to do that. So their new business venture will contribute about $4 million in personal property, $4 million in inventory annually, and 60 new jobs. So great project. Secondly, the Sugarland Office of Economic Development assisted Bluebonnet Nutrition Corporation expansion into 128,000 square feet new building in the business park. The new structure will be Bluebonnet Nutrition's third location in Sugarland and will expand its manufacturing and analytical testing operations. Very excited about that one as well. Then we assisted Accredo Packaging in their 4th expansion in Sugarland. So they've got a beautiful campus now under construction. And it's going to bring their total campus development to over 578,000 square feet. Lastly, we've got PG Golf's expansion into a new office and warehouse building that was built to house a state-of-the-art operation. New capabilities include an AI based vision system for sortation of golf balls and refinishing operation using Titleist Golf Ball Company technology. The expansion is going to retain 125 to 130 jobs in Sugarland and add 10 new jobs and bring approximately 2.5 million in capital investment for build out improvements. In total, these projects announced will bring approximately 49 million in capital investment and 301 new jobs to the community.
Is PG Golf moving or are they staying in the same area?
They moved. So we've actually been talking to them for several years. And then they were purchased by Titleist and then purchased by another company. And they were like growing, but we didn't have space for them. And they like their margins are very, very thin. They do not make. So they were struggling on like, where do they go? Do they want to build? Do they want to own? Do they want to lease? So we went round and round in different options. And then the beautiful thing about these spec buildings that have been built in Sugarland in the business park that we've done a lot of the tax abatements on allowed them an opportunity to move into a new building without having to have that capital expenditure on their end. And it really fit their needs. And we actually, it's on my next item, but we did a interview with a magazine and a journalist, and the owner, Gary, talked about how he has really, he fought automation. He liked the old way of doing things, the tried and true, like refurbishment of these golf balls, but he has since realized, like, it was super excited about the automation of their processes and really being able to get more out, more productivity. Obviously, COVID had a very positive impact on golf and outdoors and that industry as well. So they're a great company to work with. They've been here, I don't know exactly how long, but quite a while. So it was a great project to work on.
And when did you say Blue Bonnet will be finished with this expansion?
I don't know the answer to that. Alba's on the line.
She did summer of this year,
Okay.
but we don't know how many back until summer.
Okay, this summer, okay.
They were, so we'll make sure to do hopefully a ribbon cutting and an event and some touring of their site. Like they
That'd be
have
good,
been
yeah.
with other companies as well. So, all right, so now let's talk about the Space Cowboys and Constellation Field on page 9. Sugarland 4B Corporation, as you know, has committed about $10 million to help renovate the stadium over a 3-year period, with the Astros planning to invest several million as well in the coming years. Improvements last year were included new full field stadium netting, new batting cages, and a complete redesign of the weight rooms, clubhouses, and more. So a lot of the back office operations that the general public doesn't necessarily get to see very often. But what we're really excited about is this year is very much focused on the fan experience. So we're going to get to see and experience a lot more this year, which we're excited about. The partnership between the Space Cowboys and the Astros is a major victory for the city, obviously. The move from independent to AAA baseball is estimated to generate about 10 million more in economic impact per year. So now let's talk about some sweet stories from 2021, starting on page 11. In May 2021, there was a partnership with the Sugarland Legacy Foundation, and we hosted a week-long virtual campaign called Sugarland Strong to highlight businesses in the community that exemplify diversity and high quality of life in Sugarland. To view the videos recognizing our Sugarland Strong businesses, you can visit our website linked page on page 11. So this annual report will also be on our website. You can link it all there if you haven't seen the videos yet. And then on to page 12, our main focus in 2021 was to accomplish the All-In for SLTX vision that was casted in 2020 to support our Sugarland business community through meaningful and well-executed placemaking initiatives, events, and business retention and expansion efforts. Now, if you'll go to page 13, the flagship initiative of the All-In for SLTX campaign was Sweet Cash, which returned in 2021 to continue to support local businesses that have endured economic uncertainty due to the pandemic. Thanks to outstanding support from local businesses and consumers, the program was able to provide immediate cash flow of up to $5,000 for each of the 85 businesses that qualified and stimulate the economy through the 7,100 sweet cash vouchers that were printed. A total of 83,000 of gift card submissions were collected from participating purchasing consumers that purchased a voucher from the Sugarland businesses. Local businesses responded with overwhelmingly positive feedback thanks to new customers that discovered their business through the program, immediate cash flow, and the free marketing they gained through the program.
Will we do it again?
So that is not our plan right now. What we would like to do is bring to y'all the 2-year action plan that City Council has adopted. We have several, I think it's 14, what we're calling all-in initiatives that are our top priority for the next 2 years. And a component of one of those, it does not have an all-in initiative above it, but it's a small business support program. So our team is already working on what does that look like. From a tourism's perspective, it's very different than from a business development perspective, but I think there's a lot of really cool opportunities. One thing we're looking at is an e-commerce platform. And so how does that support small businesses that can sell their goods through us? I think it supports local artists and being able to have another place to help promote their items. So that's one thing we'll be focusing on is we learned a lot through every iteration of Sweet Cash. It is very time consuming, very cumbersome. And I don't think that's something we can do again, but how do we help our businesses get new customers and have that marketing exposure that they really, really need? And so that will be kind of our focus and what the plans look like moving forward. I can't tell you, but we will be hopefully doing something. So excited about that.
Okay, thanks.
And someone asked me if the sweet cash vouchers expired, and I said, I don't think so. They're like a gift certificate. Is that correct?
They are like a gift certificate. There was a disclaimer when people either signed up through the system to get them or they signed that they had been impacted by COVID, that if the business is closed, like obviously there's nothing we can do about that. And I do believe there is a expiration date, but it's not for a while. I think it's not till the end of this year.
Oh, is it written on there?
I'll have to go back. and
Most
look.
of them
been
it's
a while.
not, and I would say, I mean, I've.
I always
told
encourage
people,
people to do it sooner.
Just go and
Yeah, do it
say,
sooner. I always say you do it sooner. than
Yes.
later,
I mean,
but
and
yeah.
like the whole point of them was to get revenue into these businesses as quickly as possible.
Right.
So I would encourage people to go use them and not sit on them. So, but yeah, I think I'll have to go back and check on the expiration date. If you go to page 16, another part of the All In for Us LTX initiative was a request for placemaking, which provided funding for innovative and creative projects that would increase business resiliency and revitalize underutilized spaces in Sugarland. Projects were made possible thanks to the 4B's support and include the Art Museum of Texas out here in Town Square, Sugarland's first parklet, Lone Star Garage murals, and mental health art projects such as Project Hope murals and art boxes with mental health resources that have been placed throughout the city. So finally, if you would like to talk about marketing success in 2021, so if you flip to page 20, supported by Site Selection Consulting and our National Media Relations Program, a digital marketing strategy was established to identify opportunities to improve and promote Sugarland's online presence. Supported by DCI, Sugarland OED was able to use tactics such as weaving in SEO, search engine optimization, keywords to improve website content and ranking, establishing a uniform social brand, investing in paid search. The integration of our 3 programs ultimately allowed us to identify blind spots and maximize results on our website. Also highlighting the city's award-winning program, Sweet Cash, proved to be lucrative, generating press from regional and hyper-local outlets such as Houston Chronicle, Community Impact, and national outlets like Reader's Digest in American City and County. Leveraging our ever-expanding business community and partnerships, Sugarland's growth was meticulously documented across trade, regional, and national outlets as well, with toting success stories like the city's AAA affiliate team, business expansions from major employers such as Bluebonnet and Acredo. By amplifying each success, Sugarland demonstrates resilience and exemplary growth, playing an integral role in the attraction of our city's key industries. In partnership with Sugarland's robust business community, the city was continuously recognized as a prime location to live and do business in. One highlight from 2021 is that we were recently landed as the top spot in the top 15 most ambitious cities list, an award that recognizes the best business savvy cities in the nation. And then we're also selected over other finalists such as Frisco, Scottsdale, Coral Springs, Florida, and based on factors such as mean income, unemployment rates, people with bachelor's degree, number of business applications, percent of population that start a new business, and home ownership. So with that, that concludes our presentation. Do you have any questions?
Now that the parklet's been there for a while, have we gotten any recent feedback from the businesses about how it's doing, about the amount of people it's attracting or anything?
I have not spoken with them, but I know like our team has been working with the POA as well as we do frequent the parklet. So we have not heard any negative feedback. If anything, we've heard that it has attracted more people. And then John has been doing a great job of tracking the placer data. So that's a platform that we use that uses GPS information to track people's goings to and from different locations. And we have seen an increase in activations and people going to that site, which is really exciting.
That's great.
And the hard part with placers, you can't, just because someone goes doesn't mean there's a transaction. So we don't know that they're necessarily spending money, but at least
they're
do
there,
know that
yeah.
it has increased activity, which is important because it draws in customers and people to the site. So it achieved its goal.
Good, very good.
All right, any other questions?
Dr. Director.
Parklet number 2, it was
Yes,
supposed to
sir.
come. Where is it at?
So these, we are struggling. I'm gonna be very honest with y'all with our property owners associations. John and the team presented to the POA. They loved it. They had great feedback. We're excited about it. We can't get approval in writing. So,
From the POA,
From the
not
POA.
not the owners of the
correct,
center.
the landowners.
Yeah,
good.
they're okay.
So this is, I mean, I think this is going to be a really big, important part of our redevelopment story and our redevelopment strategy. It's going to take a lot of partners.
Is it First Colony?
It is.
What is their resistance?
I don't know. I mean, we can't get them to respond.
I mean,
So
we have relationships with
absolutely,
the right
we're
people.
working with community engagement. We're talking to a lot of different people. I think I'm not going to speculate, but I'm going to tell you that I see this as a big part of our redevelopment strategy. Parklets, we would love to do more of them. We've had funding reserved from the 4B,
Of course.
like all of our SLTX, to do 2 more. But we want to follow the right processes and get all the right approvals to do this work, this great work. But we're not the only approval. So
District 1, moving to District 1.
So is there something we can do to help? I mean, we
we
know
will
who
let
the
you
ED
know.
there is.
yeah, I mean, we're working with community engagement, we're working with Cindy, we are working with lots of different departments, legals involved as well. So we will keep you apprised. Obviously, it's a very exciting project that we care a
Yeah.
lot about. And so we're doing everything we can. to make it
Well,
happen.
are they just opposed to the program or is there something in particular
No,
that they have a
so
hang up with?
the feedback we got was very positive. They loved it. They won't put it in writing that they approve it. So it must be a formal process on their end. I don't have the answer because we can't get the answer out of them. So we'll keep y'all updated.
But now the first one that we tried to do was the Sweetwater Kroger, and then what kind of impasse did that run into? Because we thought that one was going to go through, and then something happened with it, because that would have been a great place for the parklet.
So that one was, we got really far in the
I remember we got
agreements.
really, really far in the process.
And then people were like, whoa, they were scared of like, will this attract, bad activity or people come and congregate and not necessarily visit our businesses and bring revenue. So
Like
people
kids.
got really close and we wanted that first parklet to go through to prove the benefits, to get people excited about it. So, which we did, we got the first one done. It's gotten done really well. Has been a great part and a great asset for that shopping center. They want to do more of it. Town Square out here, they're doing it on their own. They're taking up some of their parking spots here. But as far as, again, I think it's going to be a challenge we're going to have to continue to overcome.
Yeah, I guess I was just wondering where I was going with that. Since we've gotten very, very far with the Sweetwater Kroger, almost at that last little bit, but they had that one concern crop up. But now that we have our first parklet in place and they're not having those kind of issues, has there been any thought to circle back to them and say, hey, you can, this one exists, you know, they're not having that, go check it out, and then maybe make another run at them?
I mean, so we invited everyone that we reached out to in the original like placemaking pitch and everything. We continue to engage with all our different POAs. And we are working even with communications and community engagement to get them talking points on the parklet. But at some point, we're gonna have to move on to other things. And there's, again, we can't force anyone's hand. So we have this opportunity. It's there, it's available. We're networking with people, but we can't force it.
Well,
So,
right, yeah.
but yeah,
Director Crowley, did you have a question?
The $1.4 million is probably for you. Is it gonna get rolled over into 2022? And have we already seen that come to?
okay, we've already approved.
We've already approved it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. but
And that dropped to the bottom line.
Okay. Perfect.
You know, I have a question. This came up twice. I don't know if this is a 4B question, so you can tell me. Some of the reasons, I know we want to use some of our facilities like Smart Financial, Constellation, to host different programs or different events like the Art Fest that we're having. I understand there's no Wi-Fi at Smart Financial and they're looking at putting their own Wi-Fi in for this event for the Arts Fest. Is that a 4B thing that we could look at? How do we fund or how do we get Wi-Fi out there to bring more business or to bring more event venues out there to the parking lot?
So can I answer this question, Shay?
We are starting to get a little far afield.
Okay, so that is something that we're actively working on. We're aware of the issue. That's not necessarily like 4B's responsibility. That would be on the operator. And then I think the ultimate vision of the plaza and success of it is that's up to be determined. I don't think it's going to be really hard to activate the plaza with the activity that Smart Financial has. I think that's the reality of the future of that plaza. The more that the track 5 develops, the more that those utilities and those improvements will help bring the Wi-Fi and other improvements. So,
Okay, I just wanted to know where to direct that question to, because they said, well, can't 4B fund it? I go, I don't know who funds that, but yeah. Thank you.
What about a parklet at Smart Financial Center? Or do we feel like we already have enough?
the
to
plaza
lose?
is
But the
a
plot with
huge
the plaza,
parklet.
we don't need
Yeah,
anything else.
that
It's
is
big enough, yeah.
a massive parklet. So,
Yeah, the
but there's
Massive
plaza
parklet.
itself doesn't have seating, but I know the little tables and chairs around, yeah.
there's no development around there to drive traffic to,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
true, yeah.
True.
Smart, again,
It'd just be
Smart
before
Financial
this
is operating
concerts, yeah.
Smart Financial, and their job is to activate that plaza to bring like what we would like to see and what they are trying to get to is to have events there before the shows so that people will come and park early and we don't have the same issues and then they flood.
Oh, that's
into
a
the
good
building.
idea.
It's a great idea.
That's a
But that's, again, that's their goal, their vision, their operations to manage. Any other questions?
So we move on to the director's report.
Perfect. All right. So really quick, DCI drafted and distributed a press release for PG Golf's expansion in Sugarland, which resulted in a lead from Site Selection Magazine for an upcoming story titled Innovation in Texas, which will be featured in their annual economic development guide. I participated in that interview this week. It was fantastic. Really, PG Golf is an incredible partner. He was very, very complimentary of our business retention efforts and the fact that the city, despite has stayed in contact with them, has supported them. Their contractor was shocked by the fact that we were able to get them through their process as quickly as possible and get construction done and get them where they needed to be. They were shooting for some very ambitious goals and they met them. And so that's attributed to the team, Alba, John, who have got them through these processes, who've done everything in their power to get them operational. So really excited about that. DCI also conducted outreach and ongoing correspondence with site selectors, which secured interest for appointments with Paladin Partners and corporate tax incentives. DCI also corresponded with Hope Biosciences to submit the organization as an emerging healthcare leader for Managed Healthcare Executives August cover story. The readership has over 82,000 unique monthly visitors, and the outlet caters to healthcare executives covering the latest medical innovations and thought leadership in the industry. So our finalists are projected to be announced in May, so hopefully they make that. And then they also organized an exploratory call between our office and Seth Mendelson, which is the editorial director of business facilities, to explore economic development trends in Sugarland for consideration of their April print issue. DCI is also working with the parties to craft written responses to feature that align the Sugarland's brand messaging and position. And that's all I've got. Thank you for your time today.
All right. Do
Thank
I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Megan's got a little train on this.
All right. Our meeting is done.